Bandwidth for First Updates Now is supported by AndyMark. Are you competition ready? Go to andymark.com and keep your team inspired. First Updates Now is brought to you by viewers like you. Fun relies on the generous support of our fans in order to continue to keep creating content. Please consider donating, giving bits, or subscribing. Subscribe for a few bucks a month or for free through Twitch Prime. And don't forget that our subscribers get 5x chance to win on all giveaways.
Hello and welcome to FTC Live's second show, now airing on First Updates Now. We have a great 2-hour show ahead of us, and we will begin by recapping the South Super Regional Championship. Then we will recap the West Super Regional Championship in an hour. We will be talking about all the amazing award winners at each Super Regional, and we will be talking about the division and event finals matches. Reporting for FTC Live, I'm Nathan.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Vicky.
I'm Gray.
And I'm Winston.
If you have any questions that you'd like to be read during our Q&A segment near the end of the show, please tag at First Updates Now and type your question into the chat. If we do not get to your question, we will try to answer it in the chat after the show.
So tonight we will be having an awesome giveaway brought to you by Rev Robotics, who will have booths at both championships for FTC and FRC with some awesome prizes that you can win. So make sure you stop by and tell them that you love FTC Live and want more giveaways in the future. So let's bring our producer Tyler on to provide us more details on how to win.
Thanks, Nathan. So if you're interested in winning the awesome Servo Power Module by Rev Robotics, as we mentioned, we're going to be giving away two of these today, one during this show and one during our next show, coming up in the next hour. So the Servo Power Module enables your team to use a high-power RC servos in applications where a robot controller cannot directly provide adequate power. If you haven't tried these out yet, guys, these rock, and you really need to give it a shot. But good news is, as we mentioned, we're giving away 2 of them today. If you don't win, that's okay. Go ahead and get yourself one for your team for this season or next season. But here's what you have to do to win. All you got to do is make sure you either follow or subscribe to First Updates Now, which is the channel you're viewing right now. And once it comes up, just make sure you type in the keyword. You can spam it as many times as you want. You do only get one entry. I'm sorry, guys, but that is the one time, by the way, we do let people spam keywords for that. Otherwise, guys, we do keep a pretty strict chat room here, so please keep that in mind as we go through. If you do choose to subscribe, by the way, and help support First Updates Now and FTC Live, you'll get 5 times chance to win as long as you type in that keyword as well. Don't forget, you can subscribe for free if you or your parents have Prime. You can connect your account, link it information, you're good to go, or it's just a few bucks a month and your money does directly go to support shows like this so we can keep moving then. Good luck, everybody.
All right, let's jump right into our Inspire Award winners. And for everyone in the chat, we no longer have bees for our audio, so that's a big plus.
Yes.
Vicky, take it away.
All right, the South Super Regional third place Inspire Award was presented to Team 9048, the Philobot from Austin, Texas. The Philobot uses many custom parts in their robot, allowing them to be successful in the robot game. For outreach, the Philobots mentored many FLL teams, including an all-girls team, Team Oreo, who will be joining us at Worlds. On top of that, they help out a lot with their West State community. The runner-up second place Inspire Award winner was my team, Team 9829 MacBots from San Antonio, Texas. We placed second Inspire Award because we have strong outreach and consistent robot game. One of our main events was visiting Chinese first teams, Bat Dragon, Defy, and Russian Peacock. We visited the teams and learned about the differences between first in the US versus China. Throughout the season, we have also been in contact with them through social media in order to give tips to help each other in the robot game.
So finally, our last ever first place Inspire Award winner from the South Super Regionals Championship was presented to the team 8651 Wait For It from Pearl, Mississippi. Wait For It does quite a lot of impressive things, and just for some context, this team was also a finalist for the Connect Award and the Design Award. This team each season does a lot to connect with companies and engineering in their area, and have recruited a lot of engineers to work as volunteers in first events. In their notebook, the team had a tablet with all of their outreach goals, auctionable items for outreach that they track very closely. Each item members contribute outreach-wise, and the team also created a very interesting and well-designed robot. hence their Design Award nomination.
The third place Think Award winner was 7203KN03 from Tampa, Florida. The second place Think Award winner was 86668 Error 44, team name not found, from Houston, Texas. And the South Super Regional Think Award was given to my team, 8477 The Roaming Robots, from Charleston, South Carolina. Up on the screen, you can see a page from our notebook. To win this award, we worked out a clean, consistent formatting to document the design process of a robot throughout the season. Documenting design process steps as you do them is super important, along with each team member contributing by writing miscellaneous task entries. We use Google Documents to split up each section of the notebook as an easy way to collaborate as a team.
So the two finalists for the Connect Award are Team 6547 Caps Cobalt Colts from Pearl, Mississippi, and Team 8651 Wait For It. Our Connect Award winner was Team 11503 Viperbots Hyperfang from Austin, Texas. So in order to fund their season, Viperbots Hyperfang worked with many corporations to fundraise, and perhaps their most outstanding outreach event was a co-hosted event with Google. They hosted an event for 4 high schools encouraging students to pursue STEM careers.
And our Innovate Award finalists were Team 5119, the Baryons, from Chesterfield, Missouri, and Team 6832, Iron Rain, from Dallas, Texas. Both have well-oiled robots with intricate design processes. Our Innovate Award winner was Team 4717, the Mechromancers, from Oviedo, Florida. Using laser-cut wood and custom-made parts, the Mechromancers pioneered a new style of robot design, as you can see from their reveal video. They have a jewel mechanism that uses surgical tubing to shoot out and retract very quickly. They also use a double pinch claw system to score glyphs, as you can see in the video right now. Well, the wooden design is actually quite interesting, and something I personally really like is that little bit that flips down and seems to go under the glyphs. What I assume that's meant to do is pull the glyphs in to a place where those claws can easily reach them. And another thing that I'm noticing is that their claws can actually slide side to side. That looks like it makes them very good at getting ciphers during the game.
Yeah, it's a really interesting intake mechanism. I haven't seen personally any other that goes under glyphs. Yeah.
I'll add to that another interesting thing. It seems like is they don't really have any active intake or anything like wheels to pull it in, so they're a little bit just kind of luck of the draw whether that slides up or not. I'd love to ask someone on their team if they're watching in the chat if they have issues with getting glyphs up onto that little lift.
I think you can see the little dowel at the front there. I believe that spins, doesn't it? Oh, no.
Does it?
No, I don't think it does.
The video.
Wow.
Oh, well, it looks like it might. I'd love to get a closer look at that robot.
Yeah. We'll have to follow up with this on our World Show.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Our two nominees for the Design Award were teams 731 Wannabe Strange from Greensboro, North Carolina, and team 8651 Wait For It from Pearl, Mississippi. And our South Super Regionals Design Award winner is team 9048 the Philobots. And as I talk, let's roll their video. Oh, sounds like our video isn't going to work. So, over the past few seasons, the Philobots have consistently used custom parts to make their robots more effective on the field. This season, the Philobots used 22 rollers to move glyphs both into and up their glyph holding mechanism. The Philobots started the season using Swerve, but eventually transitioned to Mecanum drivetrain. Their modular design made it easy to change. The Mecanum wheels fit very well within their existing robot and frame.
The two nominations for the Motivate Award are teams 12670 Eclipse from Austin, Texas, and 6547 Caps Cobalt Colts from Overland Parks, Kansas. And the Motivate Award was given to team 9829 MacBots from San Antonio, Texas. Vicky, would you like to talk about your team's Motivate Award?
Of course. So we focus a lot on connecting to our community through presentations, camps, and other STEM activities. Last season, we presented to a local summer camp prep or professional engineering program, where we advertise first to middle school and high schoolers. This year, we'll continue this relationship with prep, working with more colleges where prep took place. In the summer, we also teach multiple summer camps at local libraries about how to build and program EV3 robots. The Toyota manufacturing plant in the south of San Antonio also allows us to use their venue to teach FLL teams and anyone interested in robotics. Some other STEM events we participate in include the Alamo Region Coaches Clinic, Core for STEM, and Science Fiesta. Mostly, we make first known throughout the community, also encouraging students to join.
Yeah, so our control winner for our two nominees for the control award were teams 4717 Mechromancers from Oviedo, Florida, and 9829 MakerBots from San Antonio, Texas. Hey, Ethan, do you want to talk about our control award winner?
Yes, absolutely. So our control award was presented to team 10337 Dark Matter. They used a pair of color sensors to determine if a glyph was in their intake, and they have kind of a more aggressive intake that uses little 2-inch wheels to pull glyphs into their robot, and then can grab them with a claw and lift them up. So their color sensors were used to make sure the glyph was square inside of their robot, and they could change the speed of their intake wheels if it wasn't square. This allowed them to have a much more consistent multi-glyph autonomous, and when scoring their glyphs, they made sure to score them in a way that they could always make a cipher pattern afterwards. Dark Matter used sensors not only in autonomous, but something really interesting they did was, so a lot of linear slides sag a little bit over after they're extended horizontally. They accounted for that, and then on their top bar of their relic mechanism, they made it move up and down depending on how far out it was, so it would accommodate for that sag and let them always stand their relic up. It's a really unique solution to the challenge.
It's very interesting.
The Promote Award was given to Team 9779, the Pie Eaters from Orlando, Florida. Let's watch that video now.
And that's what we want the world to know about first.
All right, now let's take a look at the robot game, specifically the Pemberton Division Finals. The Blue Alliance consisted of Team 7161 Viperbots Hydra from Austin, Texas, 4964 the Rolla Patriots from Rolla, Missouri, and Team 5795 Back to the Drawing Board from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Well, the Red Alliance was formed between Team 9071 Scorpion from Plainview, Texas, Team 7209 the Tech Hogs from Springsdale, Arkansas, and Team 12973 Richter Robotics from Waco, Texas. Let's watch Final One.
Yeah, so as we can see here, guys, this is the start of our autonomous period. So it looks like we have one robot per alliance going back to the glyph pit to get those extra glyphs, because that's really what's the defining factor in this game. It looks like the two robots at the back did not go get extra glyphs. I can't really tell from this angle how many extra glyphs were scored, but it's probably at least one or two extras per alliance.
Yeah, Tech Hogs with their famous first 3 glyph.
Yep.
It's really interesting. Something you'll notice about Rolla Patriots, kind of on the bottom left corner of the Blue Alliance, they have a really interesting, I believe it's a foam intake that just has the top and the bottom, and it's kind of cam-shaped almost. which
Mhm.
it's very different. Do you want to talk a little bit about more of that if you know about it?
Well, I know a little bit about it because we've competed in Missouri with the Rolla Patriots before. I'm actually on a team from Missouri. So the way that works, I believe, is that rotating foam circle thingy is actually on some drawer slides that allow it to move up and down. So no matter the orientation of the glyph, it can still roll over the top of it and pull it into their intake system. And then I believe they have a flipper intake to put two at once into the crypto box.
Yeah, it's really interesting. You can notice, I believe, Tech Hogs here are the only teams without a holonomic or side-to-side drivetrain, and it looks like they're using that really effectively to play some defense against the Blue Alliance here.
Mm-hmm.
Which is something you'll...
Yeah.
Yeah,
this
I was
part
going
of
to
the
ask.
match.
I was just going to ask quickly. Why does the Red Alliance have that yellow card? Does anyone know what they did?
Oh, I don't
can't
know.
say I do.
Yeah,
I would assume most of the yellow cards this year are just from going over the driver's station wall, mostly while scoring relics. So I would assume that was it. Otherwise, I'm really not sure. Maybe somebody in the chat knows and they can fill us in. You can see Tech Hogs going for their relic. They actually have a little timing belt on the servo, so it lassos the robot the relic and clamps down on it, and they can pull it up and over. It's definitely a unique claw.
Wow. I haven't seen any, well, not that I know of, that are like that.
Something interesting there. It looks like the Red Alliance, the Red Alliance missed one of their relics. They only had one out laying down in the second zone, right there at the end. Yes, would we want to maybe continue on to the next division?
That sounds good.
So in the Kilrain division, finals had another two great alliances. On the Blue Alliance, you can see Team 408 Archimedes Screwdriver from Manchester and 7389 the Blue Crew from Summit, Mississippi. And Team 7105 Swift Robotics from Southern Pines, North Carolina.
And forming the other alliance was Team 6047, the Twisted Axles from Powder Springs, Georgia. Team 6323, the Pink Team from Rockledge, Florida. Can't talk today. And finally, Team 7203, KN03 from Tampa, Florida. Let's roll Kilrain Finals 3. Let me see. So you can see most of the teams getting their jewels off here. Everybody seems to be on their way to scoring their first autonomous glyph. And taking their time doing it.
Don't see any multi-glyph autonomous there.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing there, which is kind of something that's a little different in the limbs at Super Regionals. Normally, from a lot of the other ones, we've seen multi-glyphs.
Another thing to mention that in Kilrain especially, we were suffering a lot from connection issues. We don't know what it was from, but I think every team had some sort of connection issues during the match.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely interesting to see the difference in robots in each of the super regions especially. So there are a lot more variations, I believe. Something that's interesting is the fourth seeded alliance, captained by Team 408 Archimedes Screwdriver, played Blue Crew 7398 in every match instead of themselves, which is kind of a different strategy.
I did the classic. I was muted when I started talking, so I'll just say this now. In about 8 seconds, we have in our notes that a ref places a glyph on the field in the top left. I'm not sure what that was about. Yep,
That's
there.
That right there. It looks to me like that was actually deposited outside of the field by a team on accident. Perhaps they missed the crypto box or something, and I believe the refs decided to put it back on the field out of fairness to other teams, so that glyph wasn't just permanently inaccessible.
One of the things that we're going to start noticing, I think, probably right around now is that the Red Alliance each scored one relic. Each robot scored one relic, while on the Blue Alliance, the pink team tried to do both. I can't remember if they successfully did both. But yeah, I think, with 20 seconds left, we're going to see both of the Red Alliance robots going to do both of those.
Each doing one relic. It looks like the Blue Crews kind of abandoned their cipher, while the pink team did pretty well in completing theirs really fast.
It looks like the pink team has one relic.
Yeah, and the Red Alliance had to rush, so they actually knocked over their first relic, and that didn't help them at all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so right before we do the finals match, I think we're going to get to our giveaway here. So it's time to start our giveaway, courtesy of Rev Robotics. And the giveaway, for those that don't remember, is the awesome servo power module. So if you would like to be entered, you need to follow or subscribe to Fun and enter the keyword power. Don't forget that subscribers will get a 5 times chance to win. And if you would like to subscribe for free, you or your parents' Prime account. Sorry, my notes are a little messed up here. You can subscribe for free if you have Twitch Prime, or you can pay, I think it's like $4 or $5 a month to subscribe. So we'll do that giveaway in a minute or so, but start spamming power in the chat right now.
All right, now let's take a look at the event finals for both Kilrain and Pemberton Division. Kilrain was represented by the alliance of 408, 7398, and 7105, while Pemberton Division was championed by 7161, 4964, and 5795. Let's take a look at the first finals match of South Super Regional.
I'm just going to say it the way I feel it. This is motherfucking dope.
So, with our autonomous modes, we see everyone knock that jewel off and is going to put their one block in, but we have a Blue Alliance robot. I can't really tell what the team number is. Going, it looks like they picked up 2, and they're putting it in, and now they're going back.
Yeah,
no, there's just 1.
Scored an extra glyph there on the top.
Just one. I believe that's Rella Patriots over there with their crazy awesome hats.
Yep.
Oh, yep.
Very patriotic.
Yes, for sure. Looks like everybody's off. Yeah. It's definitely a crazy match, especially with this would be the first of the last ever South Super Regionals finals. It's a crazy combination of teams here.
Indeed it is. Now, it looks like, is that right in the center right now, is that Team Blue Crew?
I believe
Looks like
so.
they're having a little bit of trouble picking up glyphs. I wonder why that is.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting for sure.
Yeah, they're really struggling there.
Otherwise, yeah, you can definitely see a lot of pushing toward the edge to the relic zone there, which is something that ends up happening a lot and really depends on the team's intakes. For example, like Redneck Robotics ends up pushing a lot of theirs. Whether that's intentional or not is to be decided, but it looks like a lot of these robots have similar issues.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that's going to happen in all of these matches, even as we go to the championships next week, because everyone's just collecting and pushing, so they're all going to hang out right there in the front. So it's important, if you have a relic mechanism, to make that a little longer than just the 4 feet out from the wall.
I also know some of the refs started giving out penalties for teams intentionally pushing blocks to the relic recovery zone. And if the team tries to score the relics and they can't due to those blocks, they would get a penalty.
Yeah, so what happened right now, while Vicky was talking, is one of the Red Alliance relics fell down. So now they're immediately at a grave disadvantage. It looks like Blue Alliance is in... Yeah. So as we see right here, they're going to pick up in the bottom right corner, and they're trying, and with 19 seconds left, they knock it down. Looks like Blue Alliance only attempted to do one of those relics, which is interesting, because that relic really gives you that 55-point bonus, or 40 if you accidentally knock it down.
Yeah. looks like Viperbot's just barely getting their Snake Cipher in. And
Only one balance.
Yeah, it looks
balance.
like 3 teams didn't balance at the end.
Tyler, do we want to jump back to our? I don't think we need to rewatch our broadcast from last time. All right, so I think if everyone's ready, let's draw for this awesome giveaway for the Rev Robotics Servo Power Module. Tyler, do you want to come back to announce the winner of this giveaway? Remember, the keyword is power, guys.
Yeah, we'll give you guys one last moment to get that in. Make sure you follow or subscribe. If a winner is chosen, they are not following or subscribing, we will re-roll. So keep that in mind, guys, that you have to follow or subscribe. You're getting free crap. That means that we get to let you follow or subscribe for that. And by the way, huge thank you to Rev Robotics and Greg Nadell for stepping up to the plate, putting their faith in the show, supporting the show. And be straight, guys. If you guys want more of this, you got to let them know that you want more giveaways, you want more FTC live shows. This is a pilot, guys. It doesn't mean we're going to be continuing to do it forever, but we're getting great feedback so far, and we want to hear your feedback as well. So make sure you go to the FTC Live Discord and let us know what went well, what didn't go well, how can we make things better for you, because we care about you, we care about FTC, we really want to put FTC in the spotlight here. We've done a lot with FRC in first updates now and some with FLL. It's time for FTC to shine, and we really want to put in the spotlight, guys. So make sure you go ahead and follow us, subscribe us, let us know. So with that said, let's go ahead and do the drawing for this awesome, amazing Rev Power Servo Power Module. And the winner for that is going to be Jar Gaming, JARGAMING. Started subscribing today. Congratulations, you have won. You need to shoot me a private message in Twitch with your name and mailing information, and we're going to send that out to you. Mr. Greg Nadell will mail that out to you, or if you're at Championships, we might be able to get you one as well. We will be giving away another one of these guys at our next show coming up in just about an hour or so, so make sure you stick around. Next show will be starting at about 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern, so another one coming at you, so make sure you stick around for the next show as well.
So we do have a lot of time until our next show. So one of the things I want to talk about, ask everyone here, is what do you guys think the impact to FTC will be that we no longer have super regionals? For everyone that doesn't know, super regionals are done. So qualification will be from your state championship or your region championship directly to Houston or Detroit. So anyone have thoughts on that and how that's going to impact the community?
Well,
Go ahead.
in my opinion, at least, it's going to give fewer teams a chance to compete at that super high level. Super regionals, it's already a very, very hard leap, the hardest leap in the layers of competition, in my opinion, to make it from state to super regionals. And with super regionals going away and going straight from state to worlds, it seems like it's going to be much harder for teams to pull that off.
Yeah, thankfully they are raising. So in previous years, 128 teams have gone to Worlds. That goes to 160 next year. So hopefully, and they might finish with some lottery in advance, hopefully a similar amount of teams to Worlds, but we can only wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
Before we continue this, I'll throw in the chat. If anyone has any questions or comments that you guys would love us to talk about or say on the show, please tag at First Updates Now in the Twitch chat so that we can get to your questions. And we'll do questions shortly if there were any. I'll share my personal opinion. I really think getting rid of supers is somewhat of a bad idea. This is my team's first year going to super regionals, and I have been to Worlds. I went 3 years ago to FRC, and Worlds was really fun, but I went to the FTC area in St. Louis, and it didn't have as much of a focus on what we really do in FTC. There was a lot of focus on FRC, and FTC was just in a ballroom. It wasn't a great space. I think that the NSR venue, which is in a big stadium and a hotel, was even better than St. Louis Worlds for FTC. I think super regionals are great, as I think Ethan and Winston were saying. It allows more teams to go to a high level of competition, and it's just a lot better because it's an all FTC focused show and event.
Right, and in all honesty, I've got to agree with that. As someone who went to NSR and St. Louis last year, I do agree NSR was definitely a much larger and more really fun-feeling area.
It really was. And something that was kind of interesting that I noticed was there was a lot of teams who had a higher OPR at Super Regionals than Worlds, which can mean one of two things. They could have either performed better, or a lot of times that means there is a higher competition depth. So there are more competitive teams there, and your partners can be a little better and more reliable, which kind of speaks toward Super Regionals being not necessarily more competitive in the top end, but definitely has their lower end of teams are a little better than Worlds.
Right, because of the absence of lottery teams at Super Regionals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
For sure.
like the Super Regionals kind of sifted through those less competitive teams that advanced from their state competitions, and that ended up making some of the, you have those really competitive teams along with the lottery teams that may or may not be as competitive at Worlds.
So as with the end of South Super Regionals, it saves I know it saves my team a lot of money, but at the same time we don't get that testing time for South Super Regional where we get to go to competition and face off against other teams. That minimizes the amount of chances to get to test our autonomous and meet more new people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. It is definitely not cheap for teams or at first to host a whole nother event. And I believe over 50% of the teams advance from Super Regionals, which feels like a lot, but it's definitely hard to decide if it's good or bad for teams as a whole. I definitely did like Super Regionals this year. This is the first year I competed there as well. And going from, I went to St. Louis and volunteered last year, is definitely a little bit of an ordeal.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, I think seeing maps for the Detroit Worlds, it seems like we have a lot nicer venue so far. It definitely looks nice. And I haven't looked at Houston yet, but...
Yeah, Tyler, do we have any questions from the audience? There we go. From Hannah at I don't know her tag. Whose bird is it?
Bird.
Okay, thanks, Het.
I may be guilty of that. In all honesty, my bird is right over there.
Yeah, can you grab us the bird?
Can we
The bird?
see it?
Oh.
Yeah, let's see it.
I
See the
mean,
bird.
Go grab your bird, Winston.
I can try. I'll be back in a minute.
Yes.
From someone else, we have, how do you think they should change advancement? Advancement as in from state to worlds, or advancement as in the advancement list criteria? So I think changing the advancement from state to worlds, they should just keep supers. I think expanding the supers and making supers, I'm not going to quite say expanding supers, making supers maybe a bigger deal and making worlds even a bigger deal, and maybe even paring down the number of teams that go to worlds would make FTC a lot more competitive and better. I don't know what anyone else. Advancement list. Oh, yeah, you don't want to hear this from me, but I'll go on my little rant right now. They should change the advancement list. Well, I guess supers are over, so it's kind of doesn't matter anymore. But they should change it so that division finalists get to go before third place awards. I'm just gonna stop there without getting too
that definitely could.
too deep.
Yeah, I agree.
Winston, do you want to show us your bird?
Well, I believe I already am. This is the infamous bird. This is Henry. I've had him for, I believe, 5 years. An adorable little guy.
Yes.
He's a zebra finch. They're from Australia, actually.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Mhm.
An Australian bird.
Yep.
That's awesome. Maybe you can give us a ticket to Asia Pacific Invitation.
Hey, that would always be nice.
If they're doing it this year. I hope they are. That would be so much fun.
Are they? I don't know. But
I don't
anyway,
know.
I'm going to wheel him off right now because I'm not sure if he likes being in front of this camera. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Winston. So from FTC, FCC team 13752, we have a question of how will this influence New York State, considering New York LI currently advances 3 teams? I'm not really sure. I think New York is similar to like Texas and California, where there's multiple districts that send teams. So does anyone want to speak to that?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's kind of unknown how state competition advancement spots will change. I think, if anything, they'll probably increase by 1 slot, and maybe some of the bigger teams like Florida and Texas might lose some spots. But at this point, I think it's widely unknown as to how that'll change.
Yeah, for sure. It's up in the air, but I think some of the smaller states that only advance 2 or 3 teams honestly could be combined into a bigger regional, because I feel like that would be a lot better for the competition in general. Because if you have a lot of events that only advance Inspire and Winning Alliance Captain, it makes it hard for the competition definitely to advance out of those. If you go to 3 events that only advance Inspire and Winning Alliance Captain, I feel like it's a lot harder to advance than 1 event that advances 6 teams.
Yeah.
Winston, I have a quick question. What's your favorite cipher?
My favorite cipher? Anything other than the snake. Good Lord. The snake. I can't tell you how many times we've accidentally done the snake the wrong way and lost a
The perfect answer would have been the bird cipher.
The bird cipher.
I don't dislike that one.
Bird is fine.
We just had your
Snake
bird
is nice once you get it down.
Loud, though.
I know there was a match at Supers where we messed up the middle column of Snake like 3 times and just gave up.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was bad.
So we got another question. So I guess for all of us, how did our expectations of the game change from the start of the? Yeah, how has this game held up to our expectations? What did you think of it when you watched the review video? What do you think of it now?
Well,
Vicky, what do you think about this one?
well, in the beginning, I thought it was really interesting because like we've never had a game that was so limited in the scoring elements. That to a certain point, there's literally nothing else you could score. But then we started messing with like multi-glyph autonomouses, and that you're pretty much unlimited in scoring. So I think my views become I like the game more now.
It's definite. I think it's interesting because it changes a lot from qualification matches to finals, with defense and multi-glyph changing a lot. A team who's really great in tally-up but doesn't have a super awesome autonomous can lose a lot easier than a team who's really well-rounded, but maybe not as strong in either area. Which I don't know if... We haven't really seen a lot of games where it changes that dramatically.
Yeah.
I think from the beginning, I thought it was pretty limited too, and I don't think that really changed throughout the season for me. It's been so linear, even with the multi-glyph autonomouses. It's still so linear, and at high level competitions, a multi-glyph autonomous, and at this point, a multi-glyph autonomous needs to be like 3 or 4 glyphs, and if you do that, pretty much any robot at Worlds is gonna, well, the ones that advance from supers that won the robot competitions, they're gonna score everything else pretty much, and it comes down to that multi-glyph autonomous, and it doesn't make the game very exciting for me.
I can definitely see that, and that's something that I feel like changes a lot when we talk a little bit about the West Super Regionals Championships. I know there was a lot of defense there, and even there were some. I know Tech Hogs played a lot of defense, and that can really change it back to a tele-op game, which is another interesting mechanic that I think is very different.
I like how this game kind of tries to avoid defense, but then we're still like many teams are still playing defense.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, a few people were talking about this in chat, and I found this interesting. This is my 3rd year, I guess, as a driver, is I feel like this game, more than every other, really, really, really emphasizes the need for driver practice. You can have an amazing robot, but I guess that it's every year, but especially this year, you can have an amazing, super fast, super efficient robot, but if you can't drive it, you're not going to be able to compete. For my team's robot, for those that don't know, it's a it's sort of a flipper, but it's not a pass through. We collect in the front, flip out the front, and it's pretty much been the same design, minus some minor changes since. It's been the same design since December, and in December, we were not able to cipher under 2 minutes. We couldn't even fill under 2 minutes. It took us around 4 minutes on average to fill. And we got that down to, or I got that down to, by the time NSR came around, we could consistently do it in like 1:20. But this team is definitely driver practice. This year's driver practice, unlike previous years.
Yeah, it's also about a lot of perfection. It's kind of interesting how easy it is to accidentally take a lot of points away from yourself. Say a team accidentally knocks over a column or two of their crypto box, then that might just be the match. If they can't get those back in very, very quickly, it's very easy to screw up in a huge way like that.
It really is. It's definitely, we've had a similar experience with Nathan. We started back in, early December. We were maybe filling the crypto box, and then just the other day we did 24 glyphs with really mostly just driver practice. We made a lot of small improvements.
2 entire crypto boxes?
Yeah, that's 2.
Dang.
1 cipher and 1 full. Barely.
Still, wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So, any last thoughts from everyone? Ethan, do you want to start off? Any last thoughts?
That's it for me. I'm really excited to see how Worlds goes between the South and West Super Regionals and see kind of what the breakdown is between those two teams in finals.
What about you, Gray? Anything to say?
Yeah, adding on to what Ethan said, this time you got Rise of Faces and Redneck in opposite divisions. That's going to be some serious competition, and I expect to see them in finals.
Yes. Both incredible teams.
Mm-hmm.
Winston, Vicky?
Not a ton that's not already been said. I'm really, really looking forward to Worlds, both Houston and Detroit this year, not St. Louis.
Yeah, I'm just really excited to drive up to Houston soon, so see all the cool robots and teams.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's all I got. So thank you everyone who's helping make this show possible. If you like what we do here on First Updates Now, all we ask is that you click that follow button and invite others to come watch First Updates Now shows, including FTC Live, and be a part of this great community. Please consider donating, giving bits, or subscribing so we can keep providing great content for you guys.
Yeah, so on behalf of myself, Ethan, and our producer, Tyler, working behind the scenes, I would like to thank you for tuning in. Thank you to all of our amazing guests for providing their expertise, and thank you to all of our moderators in the chat. If you are watching live, our West Super Regional show will be coming up at 9:30 Eastern. So thank you for watching. We will see you next time on FTC Live.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Bye.